Hello again. 3 regions down, 1 more to go. This time, I'm going to talk about the Midwest region bracket. Starting off with the Houston Cougars, the number 1 seed, taking on SIU Edwardsville. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this should not be much of a game. I think LJ Cryer, if Juwan Roberts plays, and we got, oh gosh, who else is there? Really won't matter. I think that'll be enough for Houston to advance to the next round. Then you got Gonzaga against Georgia. Gonzaga might be one of the best eight seeds in the history of this tournament, but which I think will be plenty enough to beat Georgia. Then another 5-12 matchup, Clemson Tigers against McNeese. And I actually picked McNeese in this game. Not that Clemson has not had a great year, because they have, but the ACC as a whole was not good this year. I mean, they only got 4 teams in the tournament this year, and they probably should have only gotten 3. But that's just my opinion, and probably the opinion of a lot of other people. But I think McNeese wins this game, actually. And then you got Purdue against High Point. High Point, this is their first appearance in the tournament, so they're gonna go into it with nothing to lose. And I actually picked High Point in this game. I wouldn't be shocked if Purdue won this game too, but I'm picking the upset. I'm taking High Point. And then next up it'll be Illinois against the winner of the first 4 matchup from last night. Illinois and Xavier. I'm going with Xavier in this. Illinois has been pretty fraudulent all year, and I know they were ranked earlier in the year, but I think Xavier wins this game. I really do. Then Kentucky against Troy. Yeah, Troy's been a good story this year. They won the Sun Belt Conference Championship, but I think Kentucky's going to be too much for the 14th seed. So I think Kentucky advances there. Then the 7-10 matchup, UCLA and Utah State. Utah State's they've had some good ones this year as well, and I think they pull off what would be a minor upset against UCLA. I picked them. And then Tennessee against Wofford, the 15th seed, against the number 2 seed. I think Zakai Ziegler and company are going to be too much for Wofford. So I think Tennessee advances to the next round. So then your second round matchups: Houston against Gonzaga. Manuel Sharp and LJ Cryer and Juwan Roberts, if he's there, amongst others. I think though, if there's a potential for a 1 seed to go out early, it might be here, but I'm not going to pick it. I think Houston will advance against Gonzaga. So then you could have a 12-13 matchup in the second round with McNeese and High Point. I think McNeese is good enough to get to the second weekend. Will Wade is going to be coaching McNeese through the tournament, however far they go. I know he's accepted the NC State job, so he'll be there next year. But I think McNeese is good enough to get to the Sweet 16, and I think they will here. Then you got Xavier against Kentucky. Xavier's done good to get to this point, I think, and I think Kentucky's going to be just enough to beat Xavier, so I think Kentucky goes to the Sweet 16. Then what would be it'd be a 10-2 matchup, Tennessee and Utah State. Utah State's another team that's had a good year. In the non-conference, they beat Iowa on the road. Well, that's really saying a whole lot, but it was won on the road by a mid-major team against a Power 4 conference team. So in and of itself, that's pretty good. But Tennessee will be too much for Utah State, so Tennessee will go to the Sweet 16, I think. And then your Sweet 16 matchups. Houston against McNeese State. McNeese State being the Cinderella, though I think their luck's going to run out here against Houston. I think Houston's going to be too good offensively and defensively for McNeese. I think Houston advances to the Elite Eight. Then an SEC matchup in the Sweet 16, Kentucky and Tennessee. I believe this is the third matchup between the two schools. It would be the third matchup between the schools this year. Tennessee prevails and advances to the Elite Eight, which means you got Houston against Tennessee in the Elite Eight matchup for the right to go to the Final Four. And this could definitely be a rock fight of sorts because both teams are solid defensively. But I think this is where a one seed falls. Tennessee will defeat Houston to go to the Final Four in San Antonio. So next week I will have my Final Four predictions and that kind of thing, or in 2 weeks, excuse me. So that's all for now, and I'll talk to you guys all soon.